Thank you very much for joining me on this Saturday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. I know a lot of talk out there about what's going on in the Western Caribbean. From what we've been talking about the last 2 weeks, things are on a track. There is the possibility of some tropical development down here. I'm going to go over the water temperatures, all the computer models. I'll cover that ahead in this video, plus what's going on in the Gulf and watching out for some scattered storms in the Eastern Caribbean. So we'll cover it in this video, but I want to show you this flare up right here. It's not showing signs of development, but you see this blob? That's a lot of rain. We're talking about this. Moving into Nicaragua, close to Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama stays active. In some spots here, 125 millimeters over the next couple of days. That's 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. So in this sector here, watching out for flooding. And that's my major concern right now, regardless of how this develops. If it develops, if it doesn't develop, is the concern of flooding. And that's why I do this channel. It's for safety as a whole. So watching flooding down here, but there is the possibility of some development south of the Cayman Islands, south of Jamaica, as we go over the next week or so. Now, this is the hot spot I'm watching. Now, the American model kind of goes back and forth. It's more of a yes than a no as far as what will develop or what could develop here. It does kind of latch onto some sort of tropical storm or tropical depression developing. So the American model in the yes category. The European model is a no. I've been looking at it I've been looking at it nonstop, but the last few days, it's not showing really many signs of development. The Canadian model is a yes now. That is showing a little spin up somewhere in the Western or Southern Caribbean, close to Central America. And the ICON model, the Germany model, is a no. So kind of adding on another model to this mix. And basically, you throw that stuff out there, and as we talk about on this channel, it's not about models. If it were about models, my job would be super easy. I would just pick a model and we'd go with it, but it's about the environmental conditions and what's going on. But the last week or so, I have been seeing signs of some possible development down in this area. But let me take you out. This is the American model here. Here's the heavy rain, and this is my first concern today, that heavier rain that we're seeing Panama back through Honduras and Belize and even parts of Mexico as we get toward the Yucatan. That rain chance will be picking up. But this is, as I'm going to just take you out in time a little bit here. So go from today, tomorrow into Monday. Still, this is Monday afternoon. Still rain in this area, and that's why I'll be watching out for that potential of flooding. Belize on Monday, a higher chance of rain. Honduras, still Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. Not seeing many signs of development at this point, but the point that I'm seeing is that conditions are somewhat favorable for development, and a lot of rain generally sticks around in this area. All right, let's get you out further in time. This is Wednesday at 3 o'clock, still some extra rain. So I'll be watching out throughout the week to see if anything does develop. By the way, the Eastern Caribbean too, that always catching my eye. A better chance of rain as the week goes on. Midweek, higher chance of rain Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, down through St. Kitts and Nevis. But this is Wednesday. Now let me take you out on time even more so as we go throughout the week. Still, the American model right now, it's been more of a yes than a no, but on the latest run, it's not showing a lot of development, but this is by Friday. You see by Friday near the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, still extra rain. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, because this is a favorable area for development, and I'll show you that. I want to get into the rest of November outlook, but still here as we get into late Friday, still some rain here, but not showing anything spitting up. And then let me bring you all the way out into Sunday morning. Let me back it up a little bit here. This is Sunday morning, and still a ton of rain here, but not showing a tropical storm or a major hurricane or anything like that. But there is the possibility of a tropical depression or tropical storm forming in this area, because you see here, we're holding on, we're about a week out now, over a week. So this is about a week and a day, still the rain in this area. So that is simply the spot to watch as we go throughout the week ahead. Now, a couple other things going on. Scattered showers and storms, St. Lucia, Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Watching out for this rain here, and this is that area that I was just zoomed down in with you. Now, there's a difference here. We're going to be watching out scattered storms here, potential of development here, but this area here in the Gulf, it's not going to develop into something tropical in nature because conditions are not favorable. It kind of gets caught up into a front. There'll be more rain from parts of Houston all the way back through Florida, even stretching into parts of the northern Bahamas, but there's a lot of wind shear. The water temperatures are cooler in the Gulf. So huge difference this time of year between what's going on down here and what's going on up here. You see, again, a lot of rain up here. This is all the way through Monday, stretching back from the northern Bahamas all the way back through parts of Texas and Mexico, but no signs of organization here. That would be extremely unlikely this time of year. Conditions are just not favorable here, but they are more favorable down to the south, say off the coast of Honduras, south of Jamaica, a better possibility of some development. Let me show you why. As promised, the water temperatures are cool, running in the 70s, even some low 70s Fahrenheit in spots as we work our way back in the Gulf of Mexico. So simply put, that season really kind of cutting off. Not to say you can't see something spin up and lift to the north, but overall, as far as development concerns, I'm just not seeing that in the Gulf of Mexico. All right, down to the south, though, you see this darker orange shading. This is 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. Those are water temperatures right around about 82, 83 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is plenty warm enough still in this area, and that's why the hurricane season goes through the end of November. Now, this is kind of a look climatologically, where I typically look this time of year. This is the month of November. Here we are over towards St. Lucia, Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda, Haiti, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Belize, just to set the map for you. And you see this blue shading here. This is where we sometimes get development this time of year. This here through the Bahamas is generally from old fronts where stuff could spin up. Even out here, you could get a little something spinning up. But you see the Western Caribbean is highlighted, but it is not common to get a lot of action. It's possible, but it's not common. So you see this here. Again, the peak of the hurricane season is September. That's when we get a lot of action. And then it drops off a lot this time of year. So it is not common to get a major system this time of year, but there are still things to watch, and that's what I'll be watching over toward the Western Caribbean for. So let me just kind of break it down. So the Western Caribbean, either way, as I mentioned, lots of rain, and that's what I'm going to be watching in the short term. Are flooding prospects. Again, flooding has been a huge issue from the beginning of the season through the end of the season in spots. It's been life-threatening in spots. We've been dealing with it. Dominica, we've had the flooding. Trinidad and Tobago. So Western Caribbean right now, the focus is simply the rain. Not simply, but you know what I mean, is the rain. Now, I'll still watch out for that possibility of a system developing. Eastern Caribbean, some scattered showers and storms. The Gulf, dealing with that system, but not a tropical system. And I'll watch out for some late season storm development in the Western Caribbean and continue to monitor those old fronts. So it's a wait and see. There's no huge red flags as far as a tropical storm developing or a hurricane developing at this time, but you saw it with me, all that rain that is going to be sitting in the western Gulf of Mexico. So together, we'll monitor that. But in the short term, please be safe with the ongoing flooding in some spots. I'll do my best to pass along the information. Thank you for leaving the comments. Thank you for sharing this channel and building this weather community. It is for you. I hope you have a good day ahead.